Hi artists, welcome to the Learning Art class for the week. This week we are going to create forced perspective photography. That means we are going to show perspective, how close or far something is in a photo that we will take with our Chromebook. We are going to make an object either look larger or smaller than it actually is. This is a type of photography that tricks your eye into thinking that you see something different than it actually is. An artist who is known for this type of photography is Bernard Pross. He uses found objects he finds around his home, just as you will do, to create his forced perspectives, the way he sees things. His work can only be seen from a special angle. Notice that there are shelves and that he has created Vincent van Gogh's face out of the found objects. Here is another artist, Pajek, who draws on his window using a dry erase marker and then uses perspective to photograph this drawing at a special angle to make the drawing look like it is interacting with the environment. So no, this person is not actually swinging on the tree. He has drawn the object on the window and then he has moved his camera so it lines up with the object of the building, and it appears that the person is swinging from a high point. Another artist that uses this style is Rich McCore. He cuts out pieces of paper to create his perspective. So here you see the bicycle cut out, and on the front wheel is a Ferris wheel that he has lined up to create his photography. Now artists, you are going to create your own perspective photography today. A helpful teacher hint: please make sure you have a person, yourself, or a family member, or an object in the foreground, in the front, and then the foreground, right in front. The tree is nice and large, and then the background and back this tree is nice and small. So your task is to come up with silly or interesting ways that people or objects can interact. So your task is to include yourself or your family members interacting with an object or another person. You are going to make in your photograph the people or objects seem larger or smaller than they actually are. Please use your Chromebook to take your photo and then upload it to Google Classroom so you can turn it in. Now here's some inspiration that may give you some ideas for your artwork. Now I know the weather may not be nice outside, so feel free to stay in your house. Or if the weather is nice and you would like, you can take your picture outside. It is up to you. Think about how you could position an object or yourself to take a picture. Here are some of Mrs. Kluskin's examples. I am sitting close to the computer, and then I've interacted with Violet, and it almost appears that she is sitting in my hand. Now, of course, she is not really doing that. Mr. Gluskin is hiding behind the staircase, and it appears that she is sitting there. I've lined my hand up so it looks like she is sitting there. Please always be safe. Please make sure you have permission before you take your photographs. Here's a photograph I was able to take by myself with an object. I propped up my Winnie the Pooh creature, and then I positioned myself close in the foreground. Winnie the Pooh is in the background, and I'm reaching my hand back with the honeycomb and the honey so it looks like Winnie the Pooh is. So again, please make sure you have an object or yourself close in the foreground, as in my examples, and then an object or another person you are interacting with in the background of your art. So one more example, and here I am at home. Hi artists, I miss you. You can position yourself close to the camera, and I just opened up my camera app, and then it's going to look like I am painting. So I can position my arm. You may have to go ahead and experiment with how you would like to have your photograph shown. But once you have where you would like, you can click the photograph, and then that would be what I would turn in on Google Classroom. So artists, I hope you had a fun time seeing some examples, and I hope you enjoy creating your first photography. I'm excited to see what you create.